2025 Warzone hackers are getting out of control, you can't shoot some of them. It's 2025, and the digital battlefield has become more chaotic than ever. Call of Duty, Warzone, once a polished free-to-play shooter, has been turned into a hacker's playground. Players are growing increasingly frustrated not because they're outgunned but because they're outcoded. Hackers don't just bend the rules anymore, they rewrite them. And while cheating has always been part of online gaming's dark underbelly, what we're seeing now in Warzone is a disturbing evolution. Some of these hackers can't even be shot. The hacks themselves have grown far more advanced than the old-school aimbots and wall hacks. Now there are players walking through walls, teleporting across the map, and worse, existing in states that render them entirely immune to bullets. These ghost players move with impunity, breaking every law of physics and game balance. Even more unsettling, reports have surfaced of players seeing enemy avatars that flicker, phase, or disappear entirely, only to reappear behind them for a kill that shouldn't have been possible. What makes 2025 different isn't just the frequency of hacks. It's their sophistication and resilience against detection. Activision has spent millions developing Ricochet, its anti-cheat system, yet the hackers adapt faster than the security measures can. New cheat engines now use AI to mimic human behavior, masking their presence from automated detection tools. Some cheats are even embedded directly into the kernel level of a user's operating system, making them almost impossible to detect or remove without invasive software. Compounding the issue is the rise of pay-to-cheat economies, where entire black markets exist to provide undetectable hacks to the highest bidder. For $100 a month, a Warzone player can become untouchable. This has led to an arms race not between guns but between detection software and obfuscation algorithms. And like in any arms race, it's the civilians, the everyday gamers, who suffer the collateral damage. Streamers and competitive players are some of the most vocal about this crisis. Imagine entering a tournament only to realize that several opponents are unhittable, invisible, or invulnerable. The legitimacy of esports events is now being questioned, as even LAN events have been compromised with preloaded hacks masked within otherwise legitimate-looking systems. When you can't even shoot someone to test their vulnerability, the core mechanic of the game ceases to matter. The psychological toll on players is also worth mentioning. In a high-stakes game like Warzone, where time investment and skill usually equate to victory, being taken out by someone who literally can't be shot is infuriating. It kills the competitive spirit. Many players report burnout not from the difficulty of the game, but from the helplessness they feel against an invisible enemy. The phrase, "you can't shoot some of them," isn't just literal. It's a metaphor for the impotence gamers feel in the face of systemic failure. What's more alarming is the growing suspicion that some streamers and top-ranked players may be using these hacks in subtle ways to maintain their edge. Since some of the newer hacks are designed to avoid snapping or other obvious signs, the lines between skill and cheating blur. This erodes trust within the community. Players now question every impossible shot, every uncanny reflex, and every godlike play, not with admiration but with doubt. As we look to the future, developers face a daunting choice: invest heavily in proactive security, or watch their competitive scenes rot from the inside. Some players have called for third-party regulatory bodies for esports, akin to anti-doping agencies in physical sports. Others suggest radical transparency, like mandatory software scans or machine learning-based behavior audits. But each of these solutions comes with its own ethical and privacy concerns. Ultimately, the integrity of Warzone, and possibly of online shooters as a whole, is at stake. A game where you can't trust that your bullets will work is not a game people will keep playing. If the developers can't put a stop to these god mode ghosts and wall-phasing phantoms, they risk losing not just players, but the credibility of the franchise itself. The very essence of competition, fair play, challenge, and skill, is being corrupted pixel by pixel. In conclusion, the hacker problem in Warzone has spiraled beyond annoyance and into existential threat territory. It's not just about getting killed unfairly, it's about the collapse of the basic rules that make a shooter playable. If you can't shoot some of them, what's the point of even loading your gun?